the day that you say, I'm not scared. Awesome. You know, there's 5 MoMondays happening tonight, and we're happen to be right in the mix of it.
We're the best one, too.
Absolutely. Barrie, Ontario, not Barry Green. Barrie, Ontario.
And a CBC reporter got wind of this story and wanted to interview Frank. And Frank got sick. And then he got better. And then it was on again. And then he got sick. And then he got better. And it was on again. And then it dropped off the radar for a few months. And myself and the CBC reporter reconnected. And I remember 3 weeks ago, Sean Hibbs in the office in my home and getting the news. Fred played Saturday night as DJ. Felt a little tired. Said, that's enough of the music tonight. And that night he passed. And went on to what I call the next world.
It caused me to reach deep inside and ask myself why. Why do I test? Why do I push? Why do I make it so hard for people to be in my life? Personally, professionally, I like people. Well, some people. Probably, there's not a big list of people, but I do like some people. But I'm really good at pushing them away. So, if I wish to have them around, then they should expect me to be accountable for my actions. Simple enough, right? Be accountable for my actions.
Barrie taught me a lot about monkeys and bananas. and if you want to know more about monkeys and bananas, you need to hear Barrie speak. Yeah, monkeys and bananas. Little did I know that hearing about monkeys and bananas would transform into the journey that I've been on in the last year. And it caused me to, over the last month or so, just look at the life that I've been living and how influential people in my life are.
One of my favorite sayings is, if you believe you can, you will. If you believe you can't, you won't. It's just the way it works. It's just the way life works. So I come out of having my hip replaced. 6 weeks after my hip was replaced, I go into the doctor's office. He says, you walk across the floor. I walked across the floor, and he looks at me like this. And I looked at him, is there anything wrong? And he said, do that again. And I said, do what again? And he said, go over there and come back. So I went over there and I came back, and he's still doing this. And I said, what's the problem? And he said, there was no physical or medical reason for you to be walking like that yet. Because at 6 weeks after a hip replacement, I didn't have a limp. My mom actually got upset with me because she's looking at me going, imagine a woman like you having your hip replaced and not having a limp. And I said, Mom, you're not actually mad with me because I have a limp. And of course she started to laugh because she realized after. I was like, but in saying that, it wasn't until 3 years ago that it hit me why I didn't limp. I had no intentions of limping. I was fixed. Why would I limp?
And I'm having a dance, I'm having a little drink, having a good time, and all of a sudden I realize I'm being pulled up to the tallest step, which is now the makeshift stage, and I am to give a speech on behalf of Canadian women to all of the Cuban women gathered there. Just very impromptu. Kim will do this. It was not prepared. Somehow I managed to address the ladies and congratulate them on being strong women. I use words like fuerte, strong, and solidaridad, solidarity. I ended it with Viva la Revolucion, and I got a lot of applause, and it went really well. And I think to myself, okay, I can give a speech, I can be comfortable. I could do that in Cuba, in a language I don't speak, and give a speech and get applause. Surely I can come to MoMondays and give a talk, right?
So then another thing I learned was to give thanks. So again, as I said, I remember one time, people find this very strange for me, because MS has been a good journey for me. A lot of people say, you can't say it, and I said, well, I can. But it's been I'm a better person because of it, certainly. And so, to give thanks. I remember I was down in the basement renovating our house, and I've been never a good carpenter. So I was trying to be a carpenter, and I struck my thumb, and typically I would have swore and got mad, and I did swear. But then I laughed and I looked at myself and I said, thank God I could feel that. Right? I hit my thumb, it hurt like hell. But I looked at myself, or I felt to myself, you know what, I'm thankful that I could feel that because I hadn't felt my right hand in 3 or 4 months. So I found myself appreciating and giving thanks for smaller things in life.
Anyway, big round of applause for all 6 speakers, Nadine and